Good morning, church. This week we're exploring of how we can be the church together. We are the church in care. We are the church in prayer. Hath arrived, and we are the church in welcoming. And now today we're going to explain another way I think that a powerful witness to our God would be being the church in generosity. The average American gives away 2% of their income. About 40% of Americans volunteer with their time. So, I'm not meant to be a downer in the morning, but by giving of what we've been given by God, our time, our talent, our possessions, we're already part of a minority that this world needs. And in this time, I truly believe, well, I believe this normally, but those that have been blessed with much are called by God to give back, to help those who've been less fortunate. This is a theme that Jesus repeats constantly. The Bible repeats constantly that God cares for the people, God gives abundantly, and the people of God should do as God teaches, as God operates. We too should give abundantly. I can't tell you how proud I was of Living Waters when we had the special collections for the food pantries that we raised over $800, which is fantastic. That major pastor's heart very warm with pride and good feelings, right? Because there's just unemployment reaching 20%, there's a tremendous amount of need. And I think that the church together can be a force more than what we would by ourselves. I think, for example, with the food pantry, by all of us chipping in a little bit, we were able to do a powerful witness. Almost $1,000 just given on top of our normal offering, some of which goes to food pantries as well, as among other ministries we've highlighted before, right? It's also a recognition, generosity, when we give to the church, and the church, of course, we're funding this ministry that we're doing to try to help people stay connected in all the ways we've been talking about. We also give to other ministry partners because there's an acknowledgement that we can't do it all. God's blessed the world with so many gifts and talents. We want to support people who do things better than we could, that meet needs that we can't by ourselves, but we're happy to support that, right? And in this time where there's so much crisis and uncertainty and people in need, it's now more than ever important to be generous. There's a post on a page I generally try to avoid, but this one caught my eye, on the ELC clergy page, about giving. And people talked about how they're worried going into this pandemic that the giving would go down, and that when times got tough for the church, the church was one of the first things to get cut out of people's budget. But they've been surprised. Giving's actually gone up. And in fact, in the comments, a lot of people were saying giving's gone up or stayed about the same. Because it's in time like these people realize where all our abundance truly comes from. It's in times like these people realize what in the world is important that we need to support. We talked about yesterday, we believe the church is a good thing. A thing that changes lives, that keeps us connected and sane in this time, that fosters community, right? That educates all of us, including our children. It helps us be better people in all the walks of our life. The church is so many different things. It's a gift. Of course, this is something we want to support. And in turn, there are things the church wants to support in this time. And with so often the pandemic, we've seen hoarding, right? Good luck finding toilet paper at the beginning of this. Flour. I don't know about you. We could not find flour for weeks. We got some. Steph was very triumphant on that. But it's I would argue human nature when there's something that's happening to tighten up, to hoard, to take care of ourselves. And so therefore the church needs to be powerful in proclaiming that it's not about ourselves. It's about something bigger than just us. It's about helping others. It's about a God who loves us, who loves the whole world, right? We got to put our money where our mouth is. It's that simple, right? If we believe these things, it should be reflected in what we do. And as Jesus tells us all the time, what better way to prove that than where our money goes? Where your treasure is, your heart will be also. I think that the church is a fantastic opportunity to be countercultural in these times, to proclaim a message of abundance when there's so much scarcity, to proclaim the truth that we're stronger together in sharing what we've been given, and our offerings together is more powerful than what we would do holding on to them separately. I think we've arrived to a precipice where we can proclaim the message of Jesus Christ powerfully in our generosity. And I think we've seen it. I want to be clear. I think that we have, like with the food pantry, with people giving of their time, in ways people have volunteered. I know I'm really excited for VBS rolling out. Lots of people volunteered for that, and if you haven't, please, there's still opportunity. These are ways that we're giving generously to proclaim the church in these times. I'm also noticing to be very generous with how many minutes I'm putting in this video. So, we are church, together in generosity. Wrap it up tomorrow, folks.